Yo, what's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back from the YouTube video, and this time we're going to be playing some ladder. I'm currently in the top 300 right now, and we're going to be pushing up using this double RG deck. So what I mean by double RG deck is you have the Royal Giant, of course, and you also have the Royal Ghost in the deck. It's kind of a new RG deck. It's been really popular the last few days. You have Codigo, who's 3rd in the world right now, and Morton, who is 8th in the world right now, using this deck. They were actually, I think, yesterday both #1, but they haven't played in a while, so they just dropped down naturally a little bit. But it's really good. You have such good defense with the Fisherman, and then, of course, the Heal Spirit, even after that nerf it got, it's still easily one of the best cards in the whole game with the amount of value it gets. Bar Barrel, you're going to notice Bar Barrel's in the deck instead of Log. I feel like Bar Barrel is really useful because if you're against, say, like a deck that has like Inferno or just a building in general, it's good to distract that building. Like maybe they have a Tesla, so if you're going for an RG, you can go Bar Barrel, predicting their Tesla, so then the RG can DPS down the Tesla, or Inferno, like while that building's distracted on the Bar Barrel. Ghost is so good after the buff it got. You can play it at the bridge to snipe buildings, snipe cards, and just in general, it seems to pair really well with the RG. And then the Ewiz is great if you're against like Sparky, Inferno Drags, because Sparky and Inferno Drag decks would be really difficult without it to beat. And then Hunter's so good against air decks such as like the Lava Hound, Balloon. I mean, there's really no way a Balloon deck's going to be able to get by a Hunter if you always have it in cycle. So before we get in the first game, if you guys want to support me, you can use my creator code BOSS. You can use it in any Supercell game, help support me, help support the channel, and I really appreciate all you guys who do use my code. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first game. You know, as I said, we're already in the top 300, 281st in the world. I did already make it to 7K, but I dropped a little bit, you know, not an insane amount or anything, but, you know, a little bit. But, you know, we'll try to win these next few games and get pretty close back to 7K. We might even be able to get to 7K again if I win like 4 in a row. I went on a pretty big win streak earlier today. I won, I think 6 games in a row or something, which is pretty nice with this deck. Okay. So we found a game versus Lord. I'm just going to go ahead and cycle Ghost. Ghost is a pretty good starting play. He's going to have one too, so could potentially be a mirror match. I'm going to go for a Hunter. He's in a Bar Barrel, so it's looking more and more like a mirror match. I mean, this deck has been becoming more and more popular the last few days. We go for a Bar Barrel. I'm just gonna Fisherman, I think. He's gonna go for a Fisherman as well. I think I'm going to RG, knowing that his Hunter's out of rotation. So solid defense and a good lead for us overall. That was a good RG because the Fisherman pulled it right on top of the tower and he didn't have a Hunter in rotation. So I knew it was going to work out fairly well. I think we'll go for our own Fisherman here. And at this point, we'll see what he wants to do. He's going to go for an opposite lane push. Very aggressive, but he's going to get pretty much the same amount of damage as I got. So, I mean, it was a solid push, I guess. Actually, we ended up getting a little bit more, but it was still a good push. Maybe I should have gone for my own RG to pressure at the same time he did, but I guess it's not too big of a deal. We can actually go ahead and RG in the back, I think. And then I'm going to go for an Ewiz because I want to stop the Fisherman from pooling. Ooh, not a great RG because the Fisherman ended up pulling it. Let's go, guys. That's a really nice first win. And actually, just to show you guys, wow, that was, I recognized Lord. He's always pretty high up. Yeah, he finished 23rd last season. I don't know who, I don't know who that is. I think it could be Samuel Basoto, potentially. If I remember correctly, I think that's probably who it is. So, I mean, he's a really good player. And, yeah, that was a nice win. I think we got a little lucky, or he just wasn't paying attention. I guess he played an RG and didn't realize that my fisherman was still alive, so it just got pulled to the middle. And, yeah, that was really clutch. Did I check where I was at? Yeah, so we do make it back to 6,900. And we're 240th now, so I think if we win one or two more, we should be back in the top 200. But yeah, so just some pointers on the mirror match. Like, obviously I just played it, but a couple tips of advice. When you're in single elixir, RGs in the back can be a pretty good play if you have the fisherman in cycle, because you can pull their RG and defend pretty easily and cycle back to another RG quickly. But when you get to double, I wouldn't recommend playing RGs in the back, just because at that point your cycle is much quicker and they can just punish you and defend the RG you played in the back extremely easily. So it's kind of a thing that you mostly do in single, and it's also a good thing to do versus a lot of building decks as well. Alright, this guy's got a ghost. I mean, it could potentially be another mirror match here. We'll see. I think I'm going to go for my own ghost. Ooh, he's going to be using... oh, I'm going to be aggressive because that magic archer just got melted. Although that's kind of unlucky. That he played the... Oh, wow, that fireball got a lot of value. Alright, I'm going to go for my own ghost. He's got the lead, so yeah, we got to be careful. And he's probably just going to defend this maybe with the bandit bar barrel. I don't know. Ooh, I wasn't expecting him to do that. Not sure if that was a great play, but... I think he's just going to bar barrel this. No? Cannon cart? Okay. Okay, I'm going to RG in the back. And you can see the RG in the back is going to pay off again. I think I could have played RG at the bridge there. I'm just going to RG in the back. Why not? Because we're up so much elixir, I'm just going to cycle back to another and do the exact same thing and just overwhelm him. Whoa, that fireball got like no value, but I'm up so much elixir it didn't even matter anyway. Let's go. That was a pretty nice win. That was the deck he was using. That's the exact same deck that I made a video on yesterday. It's a very good deck. I think he didn't play perfectly. I don't really think when I went RG in the back it was a smart idea to go for a ghost in the back, because he went ghost heal spirit. I defended it for 2 elixir. Sure, I took some damage, but at that point, he gave me the elixir lead and just started allowing me to overwhelm him, and then I had the control of the game after that. Whereas if he played a ghost in the back and just played it on defense, I think things would have turned out a little bit differently for him there. Okay, so we're 207th in the world, 2 or 3 games away from 7K. Let's see if we can get to 7K. I mean, maybe we can, especially if we get more than 30 trophies, we could even get there in 2 games. But it also likely could be 3, so I don't know. Alright, we found a game versus Yasu. We'll give him the good luck. He's really good with 2.6, but he also can use some other things, so we'll see what he's using. Okay, so he's going to have a Ghost. I mean, could be the Bridge Spam deck, could be RG, could be something else, because Ghost is used quite a lot after the buff. But after we see the... Oh, that was unfortunate. My cycle wasn't really that good. Yeah, I was going to say after we saw the rest of his cards, I had a feeling it was going to be RG. Well, not the best start. It was a little unlucky because... I think we lost, to be honest, unless he makes a mistake. But yeah, that was a really unlucky start. We kind of got screwed over by cycle. Like, I mean, I'm sure I could have done something better, but I don't know. Like, when he went RG at the bridge, I didn't have anything in cycle. Yeah, GG, we lost. I mean, I'm not going to give up because, like, he could lose connection or something, but, yeah, it's 100% over. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, my cycle was really bad when he went for the first RG, and I just couldn't do anything. But, I mean, we'll see if we can make something happen. I mean, if we had more time, we for sure would have taken his tower, but unfortunately we ran out of time. Alright, so that's going to be GG. Like I said, pretty unlucky start, and then I had to, like, try to, like, go for desperation pushes, and, yeah, we ultimately couldn't do anything after the beginning. But, yeah. Like, I mean, the mirror matches sometimes are very, like, reliant on cycle, and, I mean, I just... When he went for, like, the RG Hunter, and I didn't really have... anything good in hand. Like, I didn't have the fisherman in cycle to pull the RG, and I couldn't go for a hunter on it because if I did, his hunter behind the RG would have killed it. So when you don't have a fisherman in cycle, it's like, I mean, it's pretty difficult and pretty much impossible to defend. Okay, but here we go on in the next game, Reverse Destroyer. Okay, so he has a heal spirit too. I'll go for my own heal spirit. Alright, I'll just play a ghost. So this is probably Eagle. Okay, we can pressure the opposite lane. If someone plays E-Drag in the back, I normally just go for an RG at the bridge in the opposite lane because the E-Drag is, like, obnoxious and good against the RG pushes, and if they don't have it in cycle, it's pretty difficult for him to stop you. So you had to go for a Baby Dragon and a Tornado. That's 7 Elixir, and the RG already got a lot of damage. The only thing we're going to have to be, you know, a little careful about is this barb hut, because the barb hut is really good against the RG. So I'm going to go for a ghost to try to get it to the barb hut and help take care of it. Not sure if it's going to get there. It might die beforehand, but we'll see. Actually is going to do a pretty nice job of taking it out. He's going to baby dragon. So he's not cycling his E-drag, which is smart, because if he does, he knows I can just punish him. Ooh, he's going to have Earthquake, so interesting. I mean, that's going to be, I guess, pretty helpful for me, considering I don't have a building. I would rather him have, obviously, the Earthquake than, let's just say, the Fireball. He's going to eagle him in the back, so I'm going to go ahead and pressure. Whenever someone eagle him in the back, you want to pressure the opposite lane to try to prevent them from completely supporting the eagle him. You want to force them to spend elixir in the opposite lane. And you can see the hunter is going to do an amazing job of taking care of everything. And overall, this is a really good matchup for us, just because the hunter gets so much value, and also with him having Earthquake, I think that makes it even better for us. If he were to have Fireball, I think this would have been closer to even, but the Earthquake is not very valuable for him in this matchup, and we literally have 3 fishermen down right now, so that's pretty crazy. The blobs, though, are getting quite a lot of damage. But, I mean, if you just look at everything we have down right now, I think at this point it's pretty much inevitable that he's going to lose because, yeah, he just can't stop everything. That's going to be GG. As I said, I think that's a pretty good matchup for us because of him having Earthquake. But if he were to have Fireball, we would have, it for sure would have been a bit closer, because he would have had a much better way of taking our hunters and Ewiz and stuff like that off of the map. But all right, not bad. We are back where we were before, 1 game away from being in the top 200. Go for maybe 1 or 2 more games, and yeah, probably stop from there. So I would say for this deck, the most difficult matchup would be Barb Hook Graveyard. So I have a feeling you guys in the comments are going to ask, like, how do you beat Barb Hook Graveyard? Well, I mean, that's the hardest matchup, so if you're losing that and that's one of the only decks you're losing to, I wouldn't, you know, worry too much, because Barb Hook Graveyard, unlike Eaglem, your support cards don't get as much value in that matchup, and their poison gets a lot of value, so Barb Hook Graveyard is extremely difficult because it's hard to break through. And I hope I didn't, you know, jinx myself and we're against it right now, but I don't know. We'll see. You can, I will say this, in single elixir you can outcycle them and get damage, but otherwise it's rough if you don't. Alright, it's Barb Hook Graveyard. Oh. Yeah, this is gonna be so hard. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna Barb Barrel just to try to get some damage on this. Oh, that's a good Fireball. That's good value. What do we want to do? I think we want to heal up this fisherman. And you know what? I'm going to go for a Royal Giant in the opposite lane. We did just outcycle his bar putt. We can pull away this knight. And we're going to get a couple of connections. Like, not bad. Not bad. But we lost, I think. Yeah. Yep. It's a very, very tough matchup, as I said. I mean, I was trying to get damage with the RG, but I didn't think he would have enough elixir for that, I'm going to be honest. That was kind of absurd. Don't really think that was a good graveyard, though. Yeah, guys, that was a horrible graveyard. It was too aggressive, and then he didn't have the elixir to defend. He lost! I actually can't believe it! I actually can't believe it. Right when he played that graveyard, remember when I was like, the last graveyard he played in that match, I was like, I don't think that's a good graveyard. Because he's just allowing me to counter push off of it, and guys, the RG in the back. Oh my gosh, like when they have the building, RG in the back is the way to go. You spend all that elixir on the RG in the left lane, and then the RG in the right lane, and all he has is a bar putt. I have a ton of support cards behind it, and like I thought I was going to lose. Like, there was, I'm going to be honest, there was no reason he should have lost that in the position he was in that game. That was just crazy. I think might end off of that one, because that's about the worst matchup you could get. Maybe I'll just show, you know, how you would, maybe I wonder if I should go over, you know, a replay, potentially. I mean, we could go over ooh, that guy tilted a lot. I mean, we could go over this Sparky one real quick, just to show you guys how you would play versus that, because Sparky can be annoying and frustrating to play against with a lot of things you play. So I mean, this was kind of unfortunate. I cycled my Ewiz, so at this point I was like, alright, I gotta give up my tower 100%. I'm just gonna try to defend this cheaply so it doesn't 3-crown me, and then just counter push and hope for the best. Because sometimes what I see a lot of people do is when they play against Sparky, they over-defend the Sparky, and everything, like, dies, like, or they just spend all their elixir in defense, and then they have nothing for offense. So, like, I give up my tower here. I see the mini P.E.K.K.A. I'm like, okay, no point in spending anything. Like, if I Ewiz the Sparky, it's too late. I've already lost my tower. Like, look at the mini P.E.K.K.A. Like, how am I going to stop that, you know? So I give up the tower. You know, I even let the mini P.E.K.K.A. lock on my king tower. I just Ewiz the Sparky, RG in front. I'm like, okay, he just fireball zapped. He's got no elixir. RG, Ghost at the bridge, takes the tower easily, and just like that, we're right back in this game because I didn't overspend on defense and, like, identified immediately that I was going to lose my tower no matter what. So then this was a nice heal spirit, healing up the mini P.E.K.K.A. I believe right here I go for an RG in the pocket, yeah, and then I go for a Ghost as well. And you can see even with the NATO and Fireball, it's not enough. So we're in a really good position. And when, just another tip, when you have Fireball in your deck or Poison, and when someone plays Sparky in the back, you should Poison or Fireball the Sparky because you're going to be able to cycle back to another one by the time the Sparky reaches your side of the map. So that's exactly what I do here. You're going to see he goes for the Sparky in the back, I go for the Fireball because I know I can cycle back quickly to another one and then just go for a Fireball on it to finish it off. And that's exactly what I do there. And he's unsure of what to do. I RG in the pocket, and we increase our lead even more. But you're going to see this game ends up being a lot closer than it looks right now. But once again, he Sparkies, so I go for a Fireball again. And this is, I believe, the push where this mini P.E.K.K.A. kind of wrecked me. I underestimated that mini P.E.K.K.A. and then the Sparky as well gets a connection because he had a really nice heal spirit. This though, look at this, the giant. This ended up being a really close game, which you guys are about to see. I go for an RG in the pocket, he goes Ewiz in the pocket, and watch this, guys. If he zapped my tower instead of having the fireball ready, he would have actually won. So imagine had he zapped instead, but wow. I kind of lucked out there, got a nice win, and I would say that's what you do versus Sparky. When you're against Sparky, you generally know you're for sure going to be giving up a tower, because in single elixir, if your cycle's not the best, or you like cycle your Ewiz out of rotation like I did, you're going to have a hard time defending Sparky pushes. But that's going to be it for the video. Make sure you like the video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Let me know what decks you guys want to see on ladder in you know, if you, later this week, or decks you guys want me to win a grand challenge with. I was thinking I would use Barbpuck Graveyard maybe to get a 12 win in a grand challenge. Let me know if you guys would enjoy that, because this Barbpuck Graveyard deck has been becoming really, really popular in the meta because it does really well versus RG. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thanks again. Until next time, guys.